Many years ago, in the city of Kaduna, where the sun was always hot, there lived a man named Malam Musa. He was known in the neighborhood as the ice cream man, not just because he sold ice cream, but because his ice cream was the best. It was thick, cold, creamy, and very sweet. He pushed a blue cart with red and green stripes and a big umbrella that said, "Cool treats for hot days." Every day at 2 p.m., after school closed, you would hear his bell ringing. Ting, 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 ting. Children would run from all corners with money in their hands, shouting, "Malam Musa, give me vanilla, add strawberry on top." He smiled at them and called them by name. "Ah, Amina, do you want mango flavor today? Zubairu, behave, no pushing. There is enough ice cream for everyone." The children loved him, parents trusted him, and even the school guards welcomed him wholeheartedly. Musa did not make his ice cream in a factory. He made it by hand in the small back room of his house. He would wake up early in the morning, say his prayers, then begin mixing milk, sugar, ice, and fresh flavors. He was a patient man. He didn't rush. Sometimes his close friend Umar, who lived down the street, would stop by and help him wash bowls and carry the heavy ice blocks. Musa lived alone, having lost his wife years ago, and since they never had children before she died, the children on the streets were like his own. He called them "my small angels," and they were always free with him. Unfortunately, not everyone was happy with Musa's success. At the far corner of the street, 3 other ice cream sellers, Nasiru, Femi, and Latif, sat under a tree, staring at Musa's long line of customers. "See him again," Nasiru grumbled. "Even under this hot sun, people are still waiting patiently to buy from him." Femi spat on the ground. "I haven't sold anything today. The only thing I have touched was my own corn." Latif shook his head. "There is something fishy about that man. His ice cream never melts and he always sells out." They watched as more children surrounded Musa's cart. "We must do something," Nasiru said, "before this man finishes us completely." That night, under the same tree, the 3 men sat with dark faces and darker thoughts. "There are many ways to destroy a man," Latif said. "What are you thinking?" Femi asked. "We don't need to fight him. We only need to turn people against him." They nodded slowly, and then Nasiru asked, "But how do we do that?" Latif smiled. "Don't worry, we'll find a way, but we don't have to do it ourselves." Meanwhile, Musa had no idea that a storm was about to hit him. After finishing his sales, he locked his cart and counted his money with peace in his heart. The next week started like any other for Malam Musa. The sun was hot, the children were noisy, and the streets were busy. That Monday afternoon, his ice cream cart rolled down Umaru Street, ringing gently. Ting, 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 ting. The children came running as usual. Some were still in their school uniform, while some were barefoot. "Malam Musa, I want 1 mango. Add vanilla on top." He served them with a smile as always. "Easy, easy, no pushing. There is enough for everybody." But something changed on Wednesday. It started like a bad invisible smell. Musa noticed that only a few children came out that day, and they looked over their shoulders as if someone was watching them. One girl then whispered to her friend, "My mommy said I should not buy again." Oh. Musa heard it and frowned. "Why?" he asked curiously. The girl just looked at him and shrugged. "My mommy did not tell me why." However, by Thursday, it became worse. Musa stood in front of the same school gate, but this time his bell rang to no one. His hands trembled as he rang it again. Ting, 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 ting. But not one child came out. Even the ones who were passing by avoided his eyes. Some crossed the road when they saw his cat. Musa's heart began to beat faster. He was confused. What is going on? That night, he didn't sleep. He tossed on his mat, staring at the ceiling. His small room felt colder than usual as he tried to demystify the events of the past 2 days. And then, on Friday, as he pushed his cat out, 2 women walked past him and shook their heads. "That is him," one said under her breath. "Eh? After what I heard, he should be in prison by now," the other replied. Musa turned sharply and asked them, "Excuse me, madam, did I do something?" But the women hissed and walked faster. Now, his hands began to shake. Ya Allah, what is happening? Later that day, Musa stopped by the small provision shop where he normally got nylon. But the shop owner, Mama Rahila, refused to take his money. "I don't want your evil money. Leave my shop." Musa was shocked. "Please, what did I do?" She stared at him coldly and said, "You know what you did." Left with no choice, Musa returned home early that day with a cart full of ice cream. He didn't eat. He didn't even say his prayer on time. He just sat in the dark, whispering over and over, "What did I do? What did I do to everyone?" The next morning, he went to the mosque early for prayers, and people looked at him strangely. Some nodded from a distance, while some ignored him. But no one spoke to him directly. By the next Monday morning, Malam Musa felt like a stranger in his own streets. The air around him had changed really bad. The children who used to run towards him now stared from behind fences, and the parents who used to greet him now looked away as if he didn't exist. He pushed his cart slowly, hoping that maybe, just maybe, someone would come. But he was ignored like a ghost. 2 men walked past and muttered, "Shameless, evil." Out of shame, Musa turned his cart and began walking back home, confused and broken. Even as he went back home quietly, he could still hear small voices from corners. "That is the man. Don't let your child near him. Oh. I heard it was someone close to him that caught him." Musa's heart jumped. Caught him? Caught him doing what? And why was no one saying this to his face? When he got home, he didn't open his cart. He sat on the floor of his kitchen with his white kaftan. His hands shook as he reached for his kettle. He tried to pray, but the words of his supplication kept cracking between sobs. "Oh Allah, if I have done wrong, forgive me. But if I am being lied against, fight for me. I don't know what I did, and I don't even know what they heard." That evening, his longtime friend Umar stopped by. "Musa, I noticed you didn't come out this evening. Are you okay?" Musa looked up at him tiredly. "Umar, wallahi, I'm not okay. Something is happening in this community. People now avoid me as if I am sick. Children run from me, and women talk behind me. Even the mosque feels cold, but no one will tell me why." Umar paused. He looked concerned. "Maybe it's just a misunderstanding. Rumors. You know people and their talks." Musa's voice cracked. "But rumors from where? What are they even saying?" Umar shrugged. "I don't know the full story yet. They just said that someone saw something or someone said something." Musa's eyes lit up. Who saw what? What did they see? What are they saying? But Umar didn't have the answers. That night, while Musa was lost in his world of confusion, across town, a voice note played on a phone. "I am telling you, it is someone close that exposed him. Oh. That was how we knew it is not ordinary ice cream. Oh. Be careful." The message passed from one mother to another, from a teacher to a trader, from a student to a neighbor. But no one said Musa's name out loud. Yet, everyone knew it was referring to him. In the dark, Musa sat alone and held a framed photo of his late wife. He cried. Hajia, they are trying to destroy your husband. I don't know why. I don't know who, but this is not fair. And then he wept quietly. However, by the next day, Malam Musa had made a decision. He wouldn't sit and cry anymore. He had to find out the truth. Even if no one wanted to tell him directly, he would go and force it out. And so, he wore his clean white jalabia, combed his beard, and wiped his face with cold water. He didn't take his cart because he wasn't going out to sell this time. He was going out to fight for his name. His first stop was the school. The same school where children once screamed, "Malam Musa is here." The same place where he would sometimes give free scoops of ice cream on Fridays. He entered the compound slowly. Some teachers saw him and walked away. One junior staff even whispered, "He has mind though, to still show his face here." But Musa ignored them and walked straight to the headmistress' office. "Good morning, ma. I just need one thing. Please tell me the truth. What are people saying about me?" The headmistress looked up from her files. She was a mother herself, and even though she had once bought ice cream from Musa every week for her twins, her face was now stiff and stern. "Malam Musa, I respect you, but you should go home. Let this matter rest." Musa almost lost his temper. "What matter? Why is everyone acting as if I am carrying a disease?" The headmistress sighed. "We received some concerns from parents. They said they heard things." "What things?" Musa asked impatiently. "We heard that your ice cream is not pure. That is all we know." Musa blinked. "Not pure? Did someone fall sick after taking it? Did I poison somebody?" "No," the headmistress quickly said. "Nothing like that. It's just some disturbing rumors about how you make it." Musa's heart dropped. "From who?" The headmistress looked uncomfortable. "The voice notes didn't mention your name directly, but the children said it matches your voice and you confessed it yourself. Some parents said someone close to you also confirmed it." Now, that line hit him hard. Someone close to you confirmed it. Musa walked out of the school gate like a man whose name had just been buried. The sun was hot, but he was cold inside. Who was this person who had used their closeness to stab him in the back? At home, he sat outside his compound under the mango tree. Children passed by on their way from Quran class. None of them stopped. One boy even pointed at him. "That is the man my sister warned me about." Musa wanted to stand and shout, "It's a lie, I am innocent." But who would listen? He went to the mosque later that evening, and after prayers, he waited at the gate and called the imam aside. "Malam, I am asking you now as a brother, do you believe what they are saying about me?" The imam looked at him kindly. "I don't judge what I didn't see with my eyes, but the heart of a man is known by his deeds." "Then speak for me," Musa cried. "Tell the people that it is a lie. I don't even know what I am being accused of." The imam shook his head sadly. "Rumors are like wind. Once they blow, it is hard to catch them." That night, Musa began to feel feverish. He had not been eating and sleeping well. He stared at his cat through the window. It was now covered with dust, and the paint was starting to fade off. It had been his friend and his life, but now this same cat felt like a coffin. They said someone close confirmed it. Who confirmed what? Who would do this to me? Meanwhile, somewhere not far from Musa's house, a man sat alone listening to his own voice on a recording. He grumbled to himself, "I didn't know it would go this far. I didn't mean for him to suffer like this. But it is too late now." He pressed the lids, but the damage was already done. For one full week, Malam Musa stopped pushing his cart. It remained locked under his zinc shed. People People still talked, but not as much as before. The silence around him was still there. And when children asked, why is he not selling again? Their mothers replied them, because he was caught. But no one could say what he was caught doing, and nobody even had proof. One morning, Aisha, a young teacher from the community school, walked into the staff room holding her phone. She sat beside the headmistress. Ma, can I ask you a question? Yes, my dear. This thing about Malam Musa. At the mention of Malam Musa, the room went silent, but Aisha continued anyway. I listened to the voice notes again last night. Something doesn't feel right. The headmistress looked at her carefully. What do you mean? Ma, I don't think that voice was even Musa's. I compared it with an old video where he was singing for the children. The tones are different. But the children said, I know what they said, Ma. But that is the thing about children. They repeat what they hear. Aisha paused and then added, what if we have been wrong? Everyone went dumb at the possibility. That same day, a student named Yusuf, who used to follow Musa around like a tail, came to school looking worried. He was looking quieter than usual, and he didn't laugh with his classmates or run around as he normally would. When the teacher noticed and asked if he was okay, he summoned courage and said, Auntie, I want to tell you something. It is about Malam Musa. The teacher leaned in. Yusuf looked around nervously before continuing. Last night, I heard my uncle. He was talking on the phone. He said he didn't know the thing would go this far. He said he only collected small money to help spread what they planned. What did he mean by what they planned? The teacher asked. Yusuf swallowed hard. They said they wanted people to stop buying from Malam Musa. So they made a voice note. It wasn't Malam Musa's voice, but they told my uncle to say he was there when Malam Musa was doing something bad. It is a lie. Malam Musa is a good man. He gives me extra scoops when I don't even have enough money. The teacher felt goosebumps rise all over her arms. Yusuf, do you know who these they are? Yusuf nodded slowly. I saw them once sitting near my uncle's shop. They are 3 men. They also sell ice cream. The teacher immediately reported the information to Aisha, who wasted no time taking it to the community council and the local authorities. That very evening, the ward chief called for a private council meeting involving the police, local vigilantes, and selected elders. The evidence presented included Yusuf's testimony, the voice note analysis, and a growing suspicion around the 3 rival sellers, Nasiru, Femi, and Latif. Within 48 hours, officers and vigilantes quietly visited the homes and shops of the accused, and luckily, they found incriminating evidence. They saw a draft script of the voice notes on Latif's phone, a deleted folder recovered from Femi's WhatsApp backup, showing messages like, "Make it sound real, we need to finish him completely." And more shockingly, recordings where Nasiru bragged, "After this voice note spreads, his carts will turn to firewood." The final straw came when Yusuf's uncle turned out to be Umar, Malam Musa's friend. "I was paid 20,000 naira. I only said what they told me to say, which was to confirm the lies. I was foolish to have betrayed Musa. He trusted me." The chief immediately summoned a public hearing. Musa was invited too. The chief stood and addressed the crowd. A man's name was dragged through the dust of lies. We were quick to believe and slow to ask questions. But today, the truth has walked on 2 legs and stands before us. The confessions were read aloud, and the chief ordered for the voice notes to be played to everyone's hearing. Everyone leaned in curiously to hear it firsthand, because in reality, not everyone heard the voice notes by themselves. They were just acting based on hearsay. The voice notes came on. "See, I am telling you this now in confidentiality. My ice cream will always remain the best in town. I have my secret ingredient that make people keep buying from me. My semen is my charm. As long as I always add it to the ice cream will never melt, and it will always have a unique taste. That thing is not ordinary. I am just telling you as my right-hand man. The voice notes ended and the people were stunned. It suddenly made sense. No wonder the fear had spread like wildfire. No one had facts, but the way the message was delivered with arrogance, confidentiality, and a fake Musa's voice who confirmed it himself had triggered mass panic. Nasiru, Femi, and Latif stood with their heads bowed down, and when asked why they did it, Nasiru muttered, "We were jealous. His ice cream was the best and he had all the customers. We just wanted him to lose everything." Femi added, "It was Latif's idea." Oh. Latif hissed, "Was it not you that said we should mimic Musa's voice?" The chief ignored them and turned to the people. "What is the worth of a man's reputation and his dignity? These men used lies like knives. What should be done?" The elders consulted briefly and gave the final verdict. The 4 men were made to kneel before Malam Musa and apologize publicly, with a crowd of over 200 witnesses present. Each of them was ordered to compensate Musa with 100,000 naira for emotional distress and business loss. Their licenses to sell anything, especially to the children, were revoked for 1 full year. And for 3 months, they were ordered to clean the markets and school compound weekly. When asked to speak, Malam Musa rose slowly. "I forgive them all, but I ask for one thing. Let no other man, woman, or child suffer what I suffered. If someone is accused, please let us ask questions and not cover it with silence." The very next morning, Malam Musa unlocked his cart. It had been freshly repainted by the community youths as a gift of apology. He rang his bell again. Ting, 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 ting. Children came running, and even fathers and mothers bought ice cream this time around. Thank you for watching the story. Kindly share with me your thoughts about the story. What lesson did you learn from the story? For me, it is on the danger of the conspiracy of silence. Evil thrives in silence. Many marriages and friendships have been destroyed because of hearsay. Remember, there are always 2 sides of a story. So, it is only fair to give the accused person a fair chance of hearing, rather than being silent on them. Kindly share the story out with your loved ones, give the story a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories. Thank you and remain blessed.